Pink Jardin. Finally! We are starting our long form content. I'm Jill and welcome if you are new to Pink Jardin. If you are watching me from Instagram or TikTok, welcome and thank you for your support. We are finally starting. This has been when I say a long time coming, I'm talking about years of coming, and I figured no better place to start than right here in the garden. So Pink Jardin is our home, it's our garden, it's my adjustment to a rural lifestyle, and I plan to share that with you. There may be some of you all out there who are thinking about moving from a city life to a quieter, simpler life, and I want to share with you my adjustment to living simply and learning to embrace nature. So I'm Jill. I am a wife, a mother, a veteran, and I work with veterans. I'm not a full-time content creator, but I do have a 9-to-5 where I work with veterans, and this is our home. We are nestled in an agricultural community outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and there's also equestrian. Most of our neighbors are farmers and have horses, horse farm, gardens, all the things. So it's all about wellness in our community and a slower pace of life. So if you follow me over here from Instagram or TikTok, you know I show everything. I show from the gardening, the cooking, my natural skincare, how we entertain. We're going to do a lot of outdoor cooking as well. So stay tuned. But right now, we're speaking of what we do here. I want to show you what's going on in the garden. So we're going to start over here with our Muscadine vines. And they are coming in nicely. You can even see the little baby muscadines growing. Look at them. They're so beautiful. This thing is loaded with muscadines this year. I can see them all. Look at that. And this guy started from just literally a piece, only about as big as this twig right here. That's how big he was when I first got him. And now look at it. So my husband just built this arbor that we put over the gate to the garden. And initially it was for the muscadines to grow over it, but I'm not so sure that that's what I want to do right now. I think we may put honeysuckles. I just got a honeysuckle plant, so that may be what grows up here. Over here along the fence, I have these long rectangle containers with some strawberry plants. These strawberry plants were runners that were growing in the gravel. And here go a couple of strawberries that survived, but I see that either birds or squirrels have been eating the strawberries over here. Ooh, it's quite a windy day. We just had a storm last night. But I wanted to show you guys the strawberry bed. I cleaned it up just a couple days ago and put down some cocoa coir mulch, but it's full of strawberries already, and some of them are already ripening. Check out that guy. And there are a few more in there. You can see them. Quite a few are already ripening. Speaking of berries, we've got three blackberry bushes here that are growing. They're still pretty small in infancy stage. We have some blueberries. This one is pretty loaded down with blueberries. And it's good to pair them. You don't want one blueberry bush. So I have two more here. And then down here, I have some elderberries growing. So here's the new elderberry plant. And here's another one. Right here we have some gladiolus flowers. And there are a couple more spiking up right here. They just started to sprout. In this container, I'm known for spilling seeds, and I spilled a whole pocket of seeds into this container. These are some Bok Choy, and I need to start to pluck them out and thin them and plant them into some individual containers so that they can grow better. We have some chive, as well as some garlic and onions in this bed. And we, of course, have a few straggly carrots here. And these carrots are from last winter. In this container, this metal raised bed here, I have some Persian Buttercup flowers that are growing. It's a mishmash of everything. Some rosette Bok Choy, some onions, and I believe, I don't see the label came out, but I believe these may be the lily of the valleys. I do know I planted some flowers back here, some bulbs. So we'll see what they are when they continue to grow. And then behind them, we have some spinach that I need to cover. In this other bed next to it, we have, of course, some beautiful, although they look like they took a beating from the storm last night, some pansies and some arugula, I believe. Yeah, some arugula and a little bit of spinach, and we also have some baby broccoli over here. It looks like they're turning to seed, and a little bit of lavender as well. Here we have more spinach seedlings that I direct sowed, and then here's in this bed behind it, more spinach that I have direct sowed and succession planting. You can see the larger spinach, that's from the winter and last fall, but we've harvested most of that and succession planting more. Over here we have the monster bee balm plant. You guys, I do not suggest planting a bee balm. You may get a plant or seeds and they're small the first year, but as they continue to put in roots, they get really large. As you can see, it's taken over this bed. So I think that I will leave it for this year and I'll cut it back. But next year, I'm going to dig it out and put it in containers. This bed is my son's bed. He is doing his science project over here. He's using his homemade Oyas. And if you're not familiar with Oyas, it's like an ancient way of watering plants. We do have the soaker irrigation, the 1/4-inch soaker irrigation here, but it's not on. The only thing watering this bed, well, other than Mother Nature's rain last night, are the Oyas, and it's really growing his Swiss chard. And we eat a lot of grapefruit, and so we throw some grapefruit in there to deter bugs. And then we have a little celery back here behind it. So I propagated some celery because all of my celery died during the frost this past winter. And of course we have a cute little marigold plant that I see some buds growing. Over here we have more pansies, some red or purple romaine lettuce. We have some marigolds and more lettuce. I've got one bok choy left that I haven't harvested yet. Over here we have a leek in the corner. We have some mint that has mint. Let me tell you, mint will find its way. It will find its way, and it found its way into this bed. And we have some radish that's growing down there. Seedlings of radish, as well as this big lemon balm. It's so beautiful. I love lemon balm. And I'm actually going to probably do a video using the lemon balm. I just ordered some little containers and I'm going to make some lip balm from the lemon balm. So here I do have a grapevine, and this grapevine was as big as the muscadine plant that you saw earlier, but it died during the freeze, and I'm noticing that it's starting to come back. I thought it was a goner, but it's coming back. I'm so happy to see some new growth. Okay, so sometimes there's what to do and sometimes there's what not to do. And this is a what not to do. So this is a cedar planter that they sent to me, gifted to me. Beautiful planter, but I put it in the gravel without putting a platform to it, and it has sunk down into the soil. So I need to, it's very heavy right now, very heavy. And if you ever have this situation where you need to move your planter box, always, you're gonna have to dig the dirt out. It's way too heavy. So I'm going to, it needs cleaning out anyway. I need to dig out, I'm gonna remove these, there's some kale in there, and I think some cilantro, parsley. I'm going to remove that and all the weeds out of it, and then I'm going to put down some pavers. I have one paver here that I'm going to, I'm going to use those 12 by 12 pavers to create a platform, and we're just going to create a platform for it to sit on after I level everything out. And so that is where it will stay. Actually, I may move it over a little bit because this water hose here, I'm going to put another retractable water hose, but on the inside of the garden, so that I don't always have to bring the hose outside, from the outside to the inside. So we're going to put a retractable water hose here, and just designated for inside of the garden. Here's my beautiful jasmine that's no longer. Although I do see some green growth on it, it pretty much died back during the frost, and I'm kind of sad about it. It was so beautiful, especially on this beautiful trellis that I got from Pike Nurseries. So the other one is completely dead. Now these two hostas are a welcome surprise. I didn't even know anything was growing in here. So they were looking like there was just nothing in these two containers. And then I came out after the storm last week, and look what surprised me. They're so beautiful. I can't wait to plant these. I'm gonna plant these along the wood line because they love shade, and there's plenty of shade and water, and they love water, they love shade. So that's where they will go. Like I said, you get to see the good and the bad. These two black containers have mulch in them, but I had to tilt them over to keep the rainwater out. And this bed here in front of you has carrot seedlings. Next to the carrots, we have asparagus, over here we have what we call the hot mess. I just need to come in and really clean up this area so that I can go ahead and plant potatoes. And we will plant I believe sweet potatoes, as well as some little baby nibble, like little nibble Yukon potatoes. They're really tiny, and so those are the ones that we normally grow. As well as I may do peanuts over here as well. Back here behind this next gate, We have a gate in the front of the garden and a gate in the back. And back here is where we have compost. And we have, you can probably see the logs back there as well. You guys, here's one of those planters that my husband built. Here's one that's painted, but it needs to be repainted. It's been weather beaten. And I'm going to show you two that we just built. So here are the last two boxes that we did. These still are curing, and we're going to paint these probably this week. And here are the other two that are in front of the detached garage. And of course, yes, these trees need to come out. Guys, so we are in an HOA, but we're pretty blessed in the fact that our HOA is in an agricultural community, and they actually encourage our growth of vegetables. But if you're not, you can create what I've done here is an edible landscape. So in this container here, you'll see lemon balm along with thyme and petunias. I did have pansies in here earlier that are edible. So I like to do edible flowers along with herbs. And over here on these trellises, there are six trellises actually here. These trellises will be where the tomatoes will grow, and they will vine up those trellises. And in front of each trellis, just to show you, in front of each trellis are various different types of herbs. So we have dill in the back along with thyme. And I'm about to transplant some basil. Look at the pineapple sage. This is, if you haven't had pineapple sage, so good. It's tiny right now, but it will get huge. So up here I have a huge bed of mint and lemon balm along with some petunias. And again, they did take a beating last night. There was a bad storm last night. They're hanging in there. Guys, we had to create this it's a 40-foot berm. The front here was all water because of how it slopes down in front here, the way that the property was graded. So if you have that problem, you really have to create some type of drainage. And so you see this green little contraption here. This helps to filter out. It's a French drain, and water drains down, goes into here. It's a huge hole here that's full of gravel, and water is able to flow in here, as well as we graded it to where it comes down the driveway and goes out into the woods on either side. So this rosemary plant is nestled in between my hydrangeas in a container. And it was one of the very few that survived the frost. I used this one all throughout winter too. Look how well these hostas are already doing. They're beautiful. I love creating simple, no-fuss tablescapes and centerpieces. I love cut flowers, but I also love using live plants on my tables. So guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Definitely subscribe and like this video. Let me show you how to do it from your television. Literally, you can use your remote if you're watching television and click on the subscribe button. And then you can go, if you're watching a video, you just click up, go over to the right, and you can like. So guys, thanks so much for watching.